I did quite a bit of cross country also with Peter Sagan. We kind of started off that, but wasn't way near as good as he was in in the mountain or road.
Yeah.
But
And
so when I was like,
what makes him so good as since you grew up racing with him, why is he that good?
he he could he could just take on so much volume of like training volume.
Yeah.
He could just handle extreme volume. That's his yeah, I don't know, superpower or
Yeah. So he just trains more than everyone else.
because he can.
Yeah.
I've done multiple blocks with him, and I tried to do just as much as him, even do a little bit more, and just at the end of 3 4 weeks, it just started to kill me, and I couldn't bounce back. I was out for like 2 weeks that I had to recover from it, and he could just keep going. He has this huge capacity.
Yeah.
It's unreal. It's like from another world.
Yeah. And then he just that training just keeps building up. He's actually getting better, whereas you're probably getting
Yeah.
sick.
When he was 14 years old and he was beating 17-year-old kids, so
Yeah.
he could just take on so much. He could just completely like destroy himself, and he just gets better from it.
Yeah. So he's just genetically a bit of a freak.
Yeah, he is a freak.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so you grew up with just cross country racing in Slovakia.
Yeah, well, cross country racing in Slovakia when I was growing up, it just was basically like a cyclocross race, just on,
Yeah.
26-inch wheels and hardtails, 580 steering wheels,
Yeah.
handlebars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And just pretty basic tracks. Not
just
really.
base. Nothing was really built here as well, so yeah, it wasn't that big. Road cycling was a lot bigger, and I got into school, sports high school, so I just shifted away from mountain biking, even though I always loved it. I was watching always like downhill and the World Cups and everything. So even when I was at races on the road,
Yeah.
so it was always in my heart. It's just something that I always just looked at. I never really practiced it.
Back to where we're at. You pretty much just followed the mountain biking all along, and while you were road racing, but you didn't really have time to actually ride, or
Yeah, well, the risk of getting injured, you just was too much, I guess.
yeah.
And I was constantly on the road. I was maybe throughout the whole year, 2 months at home in Slovakia out of the whole season.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was either at a training camp, races, and etc. So wasn't really even the time to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So you
yeah,
just followed it all along, and
I just thought, yeah,
you wanted to do it.
I wanted to do it secretly.
Well,
That's
it
how I
looked more fun, or what?
Definitely a lot more fun. It's more diverse as well, more dynamic.
Yeah.
I guess just as a whole, the sport is more interesting, I'd say,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
my eyes, like what
There's
I
probably more variables for the sport. Like
yeah,
it's every day's different and different trails and not the same repetition.
yeah. And people within the sport of mountain biking are a lot more friendly, I'd say
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
quite open. Yeah.
It's a smaller community. You could really feel that, on the road you could feel the money a bit.
Yeah. So, and to go into the money, there's a lot more money there for a professional road cyclist, or you made good
Um,
money when you're racing, or
Yeah, when you become pro, you know, obviously you make a good handful of money. It's not like a footballer.
yeah,
Anybody can take a look at. I think it's on the internet what's the minimum wage, but there's
yes,
more security, I don't think there's a minimum wage in mountain
nah,
biking.
no.
There's it
It
just
it'd probably
goes
be
on.
good if there was, because some guys just get nothing and they're actually performing well, but they don't realize that there's a value for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It kind of ruins the market a bit if
Yeah,
it
yeah.
works like.
Because if you're young and you get to ride your bike, you think that that's everything, and and then
And
you
it's
get to 30 or 35 and you've got nothing but a
yeah,
couple of bikes that you used to race on. But that's that's a bit of an issue in mountain biking, that road is probably ahead of, with they actually have a minimum wage.
it's also the coverage. The road has the Tour de France. It's the most known sporting event almost on the planet, or one of the most. You got the
Yeah,
Olympic Games, you got soccer, and then you got, the Tour de France. So,
yeah,
but still, the risk that there is in mountain biking, at least the reward should be a little bit higher than what I reckon.
yeah, for sure. Like, what's the top road cyclist can make in a salary? Like, it's like 5 million or so.
Yeah, I'd say 5, 6 million is like the top. I think
Yeah,
Peter's on that.
yeah,
And then you got guys like Chris Froome, who's around 3, 4, and then it goes on and on. But there's quite a few guys that are around 1 million.
yeah,
Then there's a huge gap between like the lower tier domestiques, what I was,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then it's just yeah, the minimum wage is, I don't know, 40 grand to like 60,
yeah,
depending on the team.
yeah,
So most of the guys are on 60 in the teams.
yeah.
So, there's a big gap between that, which is also not the best, I'd say.
No, probably creates a bit of tension in the team as well. When there's one guy just collecting all the money and the other guys are doing all the work.
Yeah, and he's like, why should I work that much if I'm, making not even, yeah, a quarter what you're making? Yeah.
Yeah,
Can happen.
yeah. And then going into the Bora team, you stayed there for quite a few years. That would have been, you were happy in that team, or you always kind of been alongside Peter in the teams.
Yeah, well, after my first year, I kind of convinced Peter to come into Tinkoff, that it's a really good team. He wanted to switch teams. And then racing with him that year, we kind of agreed that I'd go along with him everywhere he goes, kind of be his domestique.
Yeah,
So that's also the reason why I went to Bora,
yeah. And
because of
then
him and him around
so
him. So
you have to clear the way for him to get through the peloton.
yeah, yeah, basically. Had dirty work for him as well, but
Yeah,
pulling for him into the sprint final, oh man, with him it's a tough job, because he just moves around the peloton like from one
yeah.
side to the other. He
I've
doesn't keep
watched
your
a lot of
wheel.
the races, and he's always moving.
Yeah, like we'll make a train for him, and then you look back, he's there, and then 2 seconds later you look and he's on the other side of the peloton. It's like, come on, Peter, stay on the wheel.
Yeah. Well, he just likes to move around. He doesn't like
Yeah,
follow
yeah.
the sprint train.
He likes to do his own thing.
Right.
So what I was doing, I kept on being behind him,
Yeah.
and then if he was in trouble, like he lost some positions, I had to overtake him and take him to the front, and then he'd do his own thing. That was like the best strategy that you could do with Peter in a final.
So you follow him.
You follow him, and then if he's in trouble, you put him into a good position, and then
Yeah.
kinda, it works out most of the time.
Yeah. It's cool. He must have like a pretty, or like impressive power at the end of a race to always put himself in a good place, even if he's tired.
Yeah, he doesn't get. It looks like he doesn't get tired.
Really? So he just pushes the power like he's fresh at the end of the
Yeah,
race.
yeah. Most of the time, he pushes the same power as he's fresh. It's crazy.
Yeah, after 6.5 hours or so.
Jeez.
Yeah. So was it good being always alongside Peter, or sometimes that was difficult?
Yeah, it was good, but sometimes difficult because as a domestique you don't have your own results, and when it comes to negotiating a new contract, then they always ask, "What's your results?" And you're like,
I
"Come on, give me a break. I was pulling for the other guys the whole year. Now you're asking results,
yeah,
So it was being alongside Peter. He's a superstar. He's a really big rider, and you can't. They can say that, oh, you're here just because of him, and you kind of get into that position. There's a few people that can do that, so there's ups and downs definitely to that.
yeah, probably hard sometimes because you're also Slovakian, so they will be saying that, and then it's just people jealous of your position, probably.
Yeah, definitely it came across that for sure.
Yeah, but it probably is enjoyable winning or being part of the team that wins a lot of races.
Yeah, man, like being riding with Peter and riding races with Peter, that was a good part. But I wasn't just riding with Peter. Half of the time I was racing with other guys, and so I wasn't just his domestique.
Yeah,
I was basically doing the dirty work for the whole team.
I
So
so you
yeah,
got sick of that a bit.
yeah, I got sick of all the other guys.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. It was my own decision. I didn't get sick of anybody.
Right.
Nobody drove me out of cycling, just myself.
Yeah, yeah. But you probably like I don't know. You started pretty young, so probably you were tired as well, or mentally feeling the
Well,
every year doing the
I was
same.
always I was always living alone since I was 15,
Yeah,
not with my parents, and had to grow up really fast. And then I was always constantly away. Like I said, I was throughout the whole year, 10 months I was away, just traveling throughout races, and just got to a point where I thought to myself, what am I really doing with my life? Like I'm missing my family, missing friends, and maybe I could find a way how to, make almost the same money but not completely destroy my ass off and on the road.
yeah,
So definitely that was one of the factors that drove me away from the road. That was just too much of everything, and that joy of just riding my bike kind of burned off.
yeah. And then how soon after you stopped did you start enduro? Like, did you just start riding mountain bike straight away when you stopped?
Well, after like a month or two.
Yeah. Did you get overweight first? Like a lot of the roadies seem to finish their career and put on the pounds pretty quick.
I was quite all right because I didn't really eat that much. I was just drinking a lot of beers.
Yeah, yeah,
Not eating, just drinking beers at the festivals, and I'm like, damn, I can't live this life. I got to do some sports, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Get old pretty quick, probably.
And yeah. But
But
I didn't gain that much weight, no. I gained, but from racing enduro and hitting the gym a lot, I gained like 9 kilos, 10 kilos of
yeah,
muscle.
you definitely don't look like a road cyclist anymore.
I was way skinnier back then when I stopped, man. I was 70 kilos, now I'm 80.
I 10 kilos more. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. What did you think? How hard do you rate like enduro versus road cycling? Like the days on the enduro bike, do they compare with days on your road bike or?
They compare definitely. It's a really hard sport. At first, when I wasn't riding that fast, it was a lot easier to do like a 50K day, like 1,500 meter climbing and
Yeah,
doing some training. it was easier because I wasn't going that fast downhill. I wasn't getting those G's. I wasn't,
Yeah.
I wasn't on the arms that much, and now I could really feel it. You got to be so strong, but in like every level,
Yeah.
and you're long out on the bike, and you have to carry a 15, 16 kilo bike along the whole way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard, man. So
Yeah.
it's different. It's like on the road, you're just maximum tired. You're like you don't feel like living anymore. You're like a mummy, like
Yeah.
a zombie.
Yeah.
But in this, you kind of feel like you came out of a boxing ring. You're just all
Ex-
banged up. From all you're
Yeah.
tired as well, but it's different. It's a lot different.
Yeah. Your whole body's tired when you
Yeah,
finish an
yeah,
enduro weekend.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. You probably actually have to put a bit of power to pedal the 15 or 16 kilo bike all day, on the climbs.
Yeah, climbing uphill, you're constantly. I think you're constantly pushing the watts. Like
Yeah.
you can't go easy on an enduro bike uphill. You can, but
Yeah, but then it's too
then,
slow.
yeah, you might as well just walk.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Just to get uphill, you have to do like, I don't know, 300 watts minimum, I'd say.
Yeah. And then that's like similar to what you would do in a road race, no?
Yeah, that was like similar to the efforts I was doing on the road bike, for sure.
Yeah, shit. It's quite interesting to compare because a lot of people probably think that enduro's like not so hard because it looks like they only probably see the fun side. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
they don't get to see all the hard climbing, like they only see the descending.
No, no. And I think this should be showed more that it's a big effort to do an Enduro World Series.
Yeah,
Man, that's hard racing, like really hard racing.
yeah, yeah. And you can have quite a few problems along the way, or like there's so many variables with it that it's everything's kind of going against you, and you have to do everything right for it to go well.
Yeah, and you need to keep calm to do a good run. It's
Yeah,
hard
yeah. If
to
you're
keep
not
that
calm,
together.
then you're pretty tired straight away.
Yeah, all over the place.
Yeah, and then you got a flat tire or something, whatever. It's it, it's a good challenge, I think. We won't see Peter racing mountain bikes anytime. He likes enduro, or
Anytime soon, don't know, but he likes enduro definitely. He loved downhill.
yeah,
He did that when he was younger. But I'm slowly trying to convince him that, once he wants to finish his career, that we got to do some EWS races together.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
So, yeah, we'll see if he's keen. He has a camper already, so we might do a tour around Europe, and we'll
Yeah,
see. That would be quite cool.
sweet. Yeah, it'll be. But you'll have the upper hand because he's still on the road. so so he'll have the harder time probably.
Yeah, he'll definitely be pissed off about that. He can't stand when someone's better than him.
So he's probably gonna put some work for this enduro project when he finishes his road career. But
Yeah, we'll see, man.
it'll be a good story anyway if he did do it. Long as
I'm
he's
pushing
not
for it.
long as he's not wearing lycra on the mountain bike. Yeah, some of those Bora guys at the team camp the other week were wearing lycra on their mountain bikes in the bike park.
Jesus, man.
It's
I took
it's
out I took out Peter's brother Uri a few times on the mountain bike. We went for an enduro ride, and he came in lycra and a full face helmet. I almost
Oh, what?
died out of laughter.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah. You don't need lycra on the enduro bike.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely the wrong. They've got the wrong idea there. But if they show up without the lycra, it'll be good.
Yeah, I got him some mountain bike pants and everything straight after that. I just couldn't look at it.
No, uh, it looks really bad, but they probably don't understand because they're used to wearing lycra all the time.
Yeah. You know, you get the lycra for free, so you just rock it, man.
Yeah, with the full face. Going back a bit, but what would have been your best day on the road bike, like in your career, or if you've got a couple?
Probably the best was when I pulled Peter into the win of the World Championships in Doha.
Yeah.
That was in 2016. That was probably one of the highlights, I guess, what kind of brought me a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And I was 19th in that race as well, so it was a good result for me.
Sweet.
And then one of the coolest moments was my first year in the pros. I did Paris-Roubaix, and I got straight away into the breakaway. So that was,
Yeah.
first year I was in the breakaway with Paris-Roubaix, so that was a really cool feeling.
Yeah.
That was probably the two best moments, yeah.
How long did you stay in the breakaways? It's pretty
Jeez.
gnarly to get in the breakaway for a start.
For like 150K,
Oh shit.
170.
Yeah. So it would have been all on too to be in the break at the Paris-Roubaix.
For 6.5 hours, my average heart rate was 171.
Shit. So you're just pushing the whole time.
And in the beginning of the breakaway, I was getting dropped a little bit. I'm like, oh, Jesus, you're in the breakaway of Paris-Roubaix. Just hold on, hold on. You'll never get
Yeah.
this chance again.
Well, it's pretty cool to have even achieved that and like felt those feelings. I guess to know what it's like at the top end of the road cycling.
Yeah, it's something that stays with you for your whole life.
How going to mountain bike? Like, what are your goals for mountain bike going forward? Like, you have big goals to race well, or you're taking the pressure off yourself a bit, or
I'm for sure I'd like to race well. I'd like to show that as a roadie, I could handle my bike and I could learn quite fast in a short amount of time to be quite a fast rider. But I also don't want to put the pressure on me that now I gotta do some results or something because, to be honest, I gotta look at things realistically. You guys are riding from, young
yeah,
age, and
11 or so. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
I'm still, like jumps are a big issue for me, and it's just that whole feeling on the bike is I feel good on the bike, but compared to you guys, it's like still the level is. So that's why I'm a bit all over the place that I want to grow the sport at home as well. I'm doing my own team with some great sponsors and kind of want to give maybe younger riders the opportunity to step into the sport and maybe make a living out of it one day, kind of go in that direction.
yeah,
As for I want to show that I can race Enduro World Series and finish the race and not be last as a roadie, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Well, you won't be last anyway. Already.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I want to be not last for
yeah.
sure.
You
I
won't be
want to show
last.
a
Yeah,
bit, yeah.
yeah. Like you're already riding pretty good when we were riding in Chiang Mai in Thailand on the enduro race there.
Yeah, it was not bad. Like I'm getting the hang of mountain biking for sure.
Yeah.
It's
But the hardest
so
hardest
yeah.
thing for you to learn is jumping.
Yeah, I'd say jumps for sure. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
just
probably
that even going through the terrain, and you have sometimes big drops or through rock gardens, and you guys just fly over it, and I'm not so secure in that area as well. Like
yeah.
there's heaps of, so slowly getting there, but it's gonna take some time for sure.
Yeah, but it's probably even more interesting because you're learning every time you ride, probably. So it's
Yeah, like
yeah,
almost from each ride that I get back, I learn something new along the way.
yeah.
Like yeah. So it's cool.